Hey guys, welcome back to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. So first and foremost, we apologize for posting the video late today. In fact, we had actually posted the video on time, but there was some lag issues noticed in the video after 10 minutes. This was pointed out by one of our viewers, and we are extremely thankful to him for that because we are not aware that the video had this issue, and this issue came to our notice 2 hours after the video was posted, and we decided to take down the video because we do not want to compromise on the quality of our videos. So I'm doing the video again today for you guys. Hopefully there are no lag issues in this video, and hopefully you guys get to see the video fully without interruption. So this is a classic Sudoku. This was created by Shye and it was posted on the Logic Masters Germany portal. We have covered quite a few classics created by Shye previously on the channel, and they have all got some excellent viewership. So we hope that this video too will be enjoyable for you guys. So the rules are standard classic rules. Each row, each column and each 3x3 box will have the digits from 1 to 9 without any repetitions. And the online solving link to this video is in the description of the video. Please try it out before watching the video. You'll surely enjoy it more if you try it out before watching the video. And I will also add the link to all of Shye's amazing creations on Logic Masters Germany portal as a link in the description. You can check out all of his Sudokus. Many of his Sudokus are really hard to solve, but they have some really new idea. So we would highly recommend you to check out his Sudokus and do try it out. So having said that, we'll start solving the Sudoku now. So there is a 7 in row 5, 7 in column 4, so which means that I can place my 7 in one of these two cells, corner pencil mark, and 4 is in one of these two cells, which means 4 goes into one of these two cells. Can we continue with the 7? 7 is in one of these two cells, and there is a 7 in column 4, which means that I get the 7 here, classic, and that means that 7 must be in one of these two cells, but the 7 here forces a 7 here. So 7 is in these two columns, so which means that 7 must be in one of these two cells. There is a 7 in row 2 and that gives a 7 here, and which means that 7 must be in one of these two cells. All regulation classic stuff. Similarly in box 4, 7 must be in one of these two cells. So I'm seeing quite a few 8s in the grid, so maybe 8s will be a fruitful way. So 8 is in row 5, 8 is in column 6, 8 is in row 4, so 8 has to go here. And which means 8 must be in one of these two cells in column 5, but 8 cannot be in row 2, so 8 has to go here. 8 is removed from here and 8 is in one of these two cells. So 8 is in column 3 and that gives 8 in row 3 column 1, which puts the 8 is in one of these two cells, and that removes the 8 from here and puts the 8 here. And the final 8 can be placed. So we have placed all the 8s in the grid. So you can see that I've noticed this in all of Shye's classics, guys. It has a very smooth start to the solve. It's not like it is hard as tooth and nails right at the start. The solve path is usually very pleasing at the start. You can place quite a few digits and then slowly and gradually it gets harder. So let us see how the Sudoku is. So we have placed all the 8s. 6 is in row 2, row 3, so I can place the 6, a pointing pair of 6. 9 is in row 7, row 8, again I can place the 9, corner pencil mark of 9 in these two cells. So I don't think I'm seeing the digits that can be placed in two cells. Now let us try shifting our attention and focus on columns or rows or boxes which are filled and try to write all possible candidates in them. So if you look at column 5, 3, 4, 8, 1, 2, 7. So the remaining candidates are 5, 6 and 9. So this becomes 5, 9. This becomes 5, 6, 9 and this becomes a 5 and 6. So there are no more columns or boxes which have 6 or more digits filled. So let us look at rows 7, row 3 and even column 8. These are filled with 5 digits. So 2, 8, 9, 3, 7. So all these 4 digits must be 1, 4, 5, 6. You have a 6 here. So this is 1, 4, 5. And we have 4 possible candidates here. Okay, I can place the 3 right. Classic, using classic I can get the 3 here, and that gives a 3 in one of these two cells. So 1, 4, 8 and 3 and 7 is here. So this cell must be 5, 6 and 9 because 2 is not here. So you get a 5, 6, 9 in these two cells. Okay. Okay, let us try to look at cells which have only 2 or 3 candidates in them. That will help us in this all, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 8 and 7 and 9. So which means that this cell must be 4, 5 and 6. Can't be anything else. So if I look at column 8, 2, 7, 3, 4, 8. So remaining candidates are 1, 5, 6 and 9. So this is a 1, 5, 6. And because of the 6 you get a 1, 5, 9 here, and both of these cells can take any of 1, 5, 6 or 9. Okay, so let us not waste our energy now. As the Sudoku grows harder, we'll try to write some more candidates. So 1, 2, 3, 8 and 6 and 7. So this becomes 4, 5, 9. And this is 5, 6, 7, 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8. So this would be 5, 6, 7, 9. So let us look at row 3 now. 1, 3, 8, 6 and 7. So remaining must be 2, 4, 5, 9. You have a 2, 9 here. So that's a 4, 5 and nothing else in the rest of the cells. They can be anything out of 2, 4, 5 and 9. So tell you what, at this point, let us start writing some more candidates because the Sudoku seems to be tough. So this would be 2, 4, 5 and 9. So all these candidates can go into these cells. Okay, so and similarly in row 7, 2, 8, 9, 3, 7. So all these 3 cells would be 1, 4, 5 and 6. I don't think you can eliminate any candidate from that cell. 2, 7, 3, 4 and 8. So both of these cells must be 1, 5, 6 and 9. No elimination again. Okay, there seems to be something here. So if you look at the column 5, middle column, 9 must be in one of these two cells. And if you look at column 8, 9 is in these 3 cells. So if I didn't have a 9 here, I would have got an X-wing pattern, right? If I didn't have a 9 in row 4, column 8, then 9 would have formed an X-wing pattern. So this 9 is disturbing the pattern. So when you have such a scenario, this is called a finned X-wing. You can still eliminate possibilities that you would have normally done had you seen an X-wing. But in this case, the restriction is limited only to the unit, only to the box, which shares the same unit as this 9. So to put it in better perspective, so for example, these are the cells that can take a 9 in columns 5 and 8, right? If this 9 is not there. So normally you would have eliminated all these cells as not being 9 because of the X-wing. All the green cells would have been removed had this 9 not been there. But because this 9 is there, you can still eliminate, but the elimination is limited only to this cell which shares the same unit as this 9. Which in this case, this box 6 is sharing the same unit. These two cells are sharing the same unit. So which means that the elimination is limited only to this cell. So in other words, you can eliminate the 9, but it will be limited only to row 5, column 9. So let me remove these cells now. All these cells can still take a 9, but this cell can't take a 9. An easier way to see is that if you have a 9 here, the 9 in row column 5 goes here, and you will see that 9 in column 8 doesn't have any cell, right? So this is an easier way and visual way of seeing it. So 9 can be removed from this cell, so which means that this cell is going to be 1, 2, 3 and 5. I was actually hoping for some more activity here, but still 4 candidates are there. So there is nothing there. So where do we go now? Okay, so 6, 7, 8 and 3 and 9. So these two cells must be 1, 2, 4 and 5. Nothing else can go there. I'll remove the highlighting from this cell. So if I look at column 2, 1, 2, 3, 6 and 8. So that's a 4, 5, 7, 9. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8 are rolled out. So this would be 5, 6, 7, 9. and 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8. So this would be 4, 5, 6 and 9, right? So there seems to be something going on here, guys. I'll highlight the cells for you. There is surely something going on. So in these purple cells, there seems to be something very interesting. You will see that all these 9 cells are taking only values 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, right? There is no other digits into the going in these 9 cells. So actually I wish to add some background to the Sudoku. The theme of the Sudoku is carousels, which means that something like merry-go-round or going around. So I also saw some comments under the Sudoku which stated that the viewers or whoever solved this had a difficult time tackling the Sudoku. So if I have a 4 here, this cell becomes 5, 9 and you have a 5, 9 pair and that becomes 1. And if I don't have a 4 here, this becomes 5, 6, this becomes 1. So okay, tell you what, this is really interesting, guys. Something is very interesting here. So this I don't think is helpful. I'll remove that. So if you look at the purple cells now, so suppose if you have a 4 in this cell, now this one becomes 5, 9, right? And you have a 5, 9 pair and that becomes a 1. Now the second scenario is, suppose if you don't have a 4 here. So this becomes 5, 6 now, right? And you have a 5, 6 pair and this becomes a 1. So in either way, you must have 1 in one of these 2 cells. In any Sudoku or puzzle, guys, not only classic Sudokus, any Sudoku or puzzle, always look for logics, and that will give you some common information. You may have multiple paths, but in both or all the paths, you will have something common. Try to extract that information out of this puzzle and that will help you go somewhere. So we saw that regardless of whether this is a 4 or a 5, 6, you will have 1 in one of these 2 cells. That is going to be true for sure. So 1 can be eliminated from this cell. This is something really new to me and really fresh idea that Shye has incorporated. I was very happy finding this. And similarly, you will see that 4 is in one of these 2 cells. Same idea. Suppose, I'll tell you why. So suppose you don't have a 1 here. This becomes 5, 6 and you have a 5, 6 pair. This becomes a 4, right? And this becomes 5, 9 now because of the 4 here and you get a 1 here. So you get a 4 in the first scenario. That is when you don't have a 1 here. And now if you have a 1 here, for instance in this cell, so this becomes 5, 9 and you have a 5, 9 pair and that becomes 4. So you will see that the 4 is going here. So in both the scenarios, if you remember, 4 is going in one of these 2 cells. If I have a 5, 6 here, this becomes 5, 6 and that becomes a 4. And if I have a 1 here, that becomes 5, 9, this becomes 5, 9 pair and that becomes a 4. So in either way, 4 is in one of these 2 cells. Again, same information. Superb, right? What a piece of Sudoku, guys. So 4 is in one of these 2 cells. And that removes the 4 from here. So which means that we can get a 4. Wow. What a deduction, guys. What a deduction, really. So really difficult to see. And now if you look closely in row 5, you get a triplet 5, 6, 9 and 4, 7, 8. So which means that the rest of the cells must be a 1, 2 and 3. And you have a 1 in box 5. So that becomes 2, 3 pair and that gives you a 1 here. Superb, right? A really tough one to see, guys. And that removes the 1 from these cells. So this is a 2, 4, 5. And one more thing, guys, one more thing from these 6 cells, the cells in purple, you will see that 5 and 6 is hidden in these 3 cells. That is, we are forming an invisible pair 5, 6 where we don't know for sure which 2 cells take the 5, 6. Either these 2 cells take the 5, 6 or these 2 cells take the 5, 6. But definitely 5 and 6 is hidden in between these 3 cells. And similarly 5 and 9 is hidden between these 3 cells. Superb, right? So I'll again explain you why that is the case. Suppose if you don't have 5, 9, a 5, 9 pair in these cells, so this has to become a 4 and that has to become a 1, right? So we are assuming that 5, 9 pair is not in these 3 cells. So this becomes 4, that becomes 1. So which means that this will be a 5, 6, right? This will be a 5, 6. So we have a 5, 6 pair and that becomes a 1 now. So if you look at column 8, we have a clash of 1s. So which means that we are certain 5, 9 is hidden in these 3 cells. And the reverse of that you can use in row 8, right? So if you were to assume that a 5 6 pair is not in these three cells, row 8, column 2, column 5 and column 8. So let us assume this becomes 1, this becomes 4. So we are preventing the 5 6 from happening in these three cells. So because of the 1 here, this becomes a 5 9, and now we have a 5 9 pair, and that has to become a 4, and that leads to a clash of 4. So in short, the information that we obtain from these purple cells are 5 6 is hidden in these three cells, 5 9 is hidden in these three cells, 1 must be in one of these two cells, and 4 must be in one of these two cells. This is a really brilliant idea, guys. Really brilliant idea. I've never seen such idea in a classic Sudoku. Superb idea, guys. So if this is what the author has intended, really hats off. Amazing. So let us see if this is helping us. We know that 5 9 is in these three cells. So the rest of the cells must be 1 2 3 4. You have a 3 here. So this is 1 2 4. And 1 3 and 4 is here, so that has to be a 2. Superb. This is a hidden single. So 1 3 4 8 9 are not possible, and 5 6 7 9 are also not possible because it's hidden here. So that has to only be a 2, and that gives a 2 here, classic. That gives a 2 here, again classic. So that's a 4 5, and which means that 2 goes here, and 2 must be in one of these cells, and 2 must be in one of these cells. Okay, not a problem. So this cell can't be 2 6 7 8, cannot be 5 and 9. So this has to be 1 3 and 4, and 1 is here, so this has to be a 3 and 4. Superb, guys, superb. And similar idea, 5 6 is in these three cells, so this cell cannot be 2 3 7 8 9 5 or 6. So this has to be 1 and 4, but you have a 4 here, so that has to be a 1, and 1 gets removed from here now. So this is 5 6, so you get a 5 6 pair. And using the deduction that we established earlier, that 5 6 1 must be in one of these two cells, so this has to be a 1, and which means that this is not a 1, so that's a 2 4. So you have a 5 6 pair now, that gives a 4 here, and which means this is not a 4, so that's a 5 9. So you have a 5 9 pair. Superb, guys, what a Sudoku, really. So I think we can rush through to the solution now. We've got lots of digits. So 1 4, so this would have to be a 5, and the remaining digit has to be a 6. Column 1 is almost filled, 1 3 4 6 9 2 and 8. So this has to be 5 7 and 5 7. Okay, and you have a 2 here, right, which means this is a 4, that's a 3, 1 3 6 8 2 and 7. So this has to be 5 9, and that would be a 4 5 and a 9, and this would also be a 4 5 9 for the box. 2 3 7 8 and 9. So this has to be 1 4 5 and 6. You have a 6 here, so that's not a 6. A 1 4 5. So you have a 4 here, so that's not a 4 now. This is a 5 7 9. So you have a triplet, 5 7 9 triplet. So which means that these two cells must be 3 4, 1 2 8, 5 7 9 and 6. So 3 and 4. So 3 is here, which means this is 4, that's a 3, and that gives a 5 here. So this is not a 5, that's not a 5. And you get a 4 9 pair in these cells, a 4 9 pair, and that gives you a 9 in row 2 column 2. 9 gets removed from here, so let me remove the corner pencil mark. 3 5 7 2 4 9. So 1 6 and 8. So these two cells are 1 and 6, and these two cells in row 3 must be 2 and 9, right? And that gives you a 5 here, and because of that you get a 6 here and a 5 here. Superb, guys. Look how the information that we extracted from the purple cells is really helping the solve. So this is a 6 9, and that gives you a 5 here. 9 is eliminated from there, so that becomes a 4, that becomes 1, that becomes 6, and this 4 9 pair gets resolved quickly, so that has to be a 3 for the column. And 2 3 6 7 1 4 8. So these two cells must be a 5 and a 9, and these two cells must be 1 and 4, and because of the 4 here, you get the 4 here and the 1 here, and 1 here and 6 here, and 5 and 6. So that gives a 9, and that resolves the 6 9 pair. That would become a 5 now, so that becomes a 7, that becomes 7, that becomes 5. So 2 5 8 3 4 7. These three cells must be 1 6 and 9, and this 6 here resolves the 6, and 1 and 9 can be easily resolved now. This would be 9, this would be 1, and 2 3 pair, right? So the 3 here resolves this 2 3 pair, and 2 9 pair can be resolved now. 2 and 9, and 9 5 can be resolved, 9 and 5, and the remaining digits are 5 6 and 7. You have a 7 here, so that becomes a 7, and these two cells must be 5 6. So that's a 6, and that's a 5. And with that, we have completed this one of a kind construction Classic Sudoku by Shye. It's an amazing creation. I've never seen such an idea in Classic Sudoku. A really, really new idea. This is not something which you can confine to the cataloged wiki techniques. It's something really different, right? Superb. Really enjoyed solving this Classic Sudoku. Hope you guys too enjoyed watching this Sudoku. Please like and comment under the video. You'd really be happy if you if we get to see your comments. Do remember to subscribe to the channel as well. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye bye.